All right, thanks for joining me today. My name is Bobby with Business Anywhere, and we're going to be talking about tax filings for non-U.S. persons that own a U.S. LLC. We've discussed this in previous videos. I will just give a quick summary. Yes, if you are a non-U.S. person, you can have a U.S. LLC. You do not need to live in the U.S. As a matter of fact, you really don't even need to visit the U.S. to register a company in the U.S. or even open a bank account, as long as you work with one of the digital fintech type bank platforms. You can do completely everything online to register your company. You can open your bank account completely online. We even, with our businessanywhere.io platform, we even have a banking partner. Once your company is open, you can click a button and go through the account opening process for your bank as well. So first of all, yes, if you're a non-U.S. person, you can open and operate a business in the U.S. Now, what do I mean by a non-U.S. person? I mean, you're not a U.S. citizen with a U.S. passport, you're not a green card holder, and you do not have any tax obligation otherwise in the U.S. And why would you want to open a business in the U.S.? Well, we've gone through this in other videos, but basically there are a lot of variables that go into this. You access, first of all, the company structure is simple, it's easy, it's minimal reporting requirements, the banking is good, you can easily get merchant processing, PayPal, Stripe, that sort of thing. And then if you go through some additional steps, you might even be able to get personal credit cards once you establish some credit. And for anybody that doesn't know, the U.S. does have the best credit card rewards programs in the world. So there's a lot of people that just want to open companies and get personal bank accounts and credit card accounts in the U.S. just for that purpose. There are some significant tax advantages if your business does not have what's called nexus or effectively connected income to a U.S. trade or business. And what that means is, I'm summarizing, there's obviously nuances here, but if you operate as a non-U.S. person, if you operate in the U.S. through a U.S. LLC, and you have an office, like physical location, or you have employees where you're withholding payroll tax, or if you sell physical products that are delivered to customers in the U.S., or you provide a physical service that is done and operated within the U.S., you will have nexus and what's called effectively connected income to a trade or business. If you have that, you will have a tax obligation on the income from that LLC. However, if you operate a virtual company, let's say you do consulting, coaching, you have digital download products, maybe you have a software business, maybe you do a staffing agency, these types of things where you don't actually sell physical products, you don't need to have an office in the U.S., your operational activity of your business actually happens outside of the U.S. territory, then you don't have what's called ECI, or effectively connected income to a trade or business, which means you don't have a tax obligation on that income. Now, if you have that virtual business that doesn't have a tax obligation in the U.S., you have one tax filing that you have to do by April 15th every year. It's IRS Form 5472. And effectively what that form is you need to tell the IRS that LLC is more than 25% owned by a non-U.S. owner. So for example, if you were German with a software company, operating through a New Mexico LLC, you have to file a 5472 telling the IRS that New Mexico LLC is owned, more than 25% owned by a German owner, let's say 100% owned. Then in that case, it's a one form, I believe it's a 3-page form that is super easy to fill out. It's due by April 15th every year. And all you're doing is informing the IRS who owns the entity and the proportion of income that goes to that person. It does not constitute a tax obligation. It is just an informational return. You can fax it over or mail it once a year by April 15th. Now, I will forewarn you, it is required to file that form if you have an operating business through a U.S. entity and you are a non-U.S. owner. It is a legal requirement to file that form, and the penalties are hefty for not filing it. If you do not file it by April 15th every year, it is a $25,000 fine for being late. And then it's $25,000 per month for not filing it. $25,000 per month. If you're 90 days late, they add an additional $25,000 per month of fine. So this is not a form you want to ignore and not file. You absolutely want to do it. It doesn't create a tax obligation for you. It's 3 pages. You can do it in 20 minutes on your laptop, fill it in, digitally sign it, and use something like, I don't know, some electronic fax on the internet to fax it over to the IRS, and you're done. So don't avoid this form, okay? That is the only form you would have to file if you had a virtual business, as I explained. If you have ECI, effectively connected income, to a trade or business in the U.S., there are additional forms you might need to file depending on the nature of the business. But I don't want to get into that in this video because I really just wanted to focus on the virtual business tax filing. So I hope that helps. And again, make sure you file that thing by April 15th. It'll make your life way easier and you don't have to pay anything anyway. It's an easy form to file. If you're looking for someone to handle your company formation or registered agent service and your company compliance, we can help you with that at businessanywhere.io. We do company formation and registered agent service in all 50 states. We also help with bank account openings. We have virtual mailbox service, and we also do remote online notary. And as I mentioned, we do assist with company compliance, like your beneficial ownership information reports and that type of thing. So again, if you're looking for that type of service, you can find us at businessanywhere.io. Thanks.